Those are baseballs.
I made this sketch diagram in Xactimate on my phone in less than 5 minutes. Stay tuned for a full demo of Xactimate Mobile's new LiDAR capability and see how it can speed up your scoping workflow. And coming up, it's officially hurricane season. See what the researchers predict we'll get for storms this summer. IAS Claim Services has a ton of work for IAs. Get the full details later in the show. One Click Code announces new functionality and reports to their amazing app. There's been a quantum leap in tech that makes using a drone for getting roof diagrams easier and faster than ever. Get a discount on Haag's new certified reviewer certification for desk and field property adjusters. SCA Claims Services announces a major rebrand and a strong push into property. The AdjusterTV Bullybag patches are finally here and ready to ship. AdjusterTV has gone to bat for you and nailed down a sweet discount on real, professional 100-foot retractable tape measures. Pacesetter Claim Service announces new dates for their summer training tour, which you're not going to want to miss. But first, our NACA Minute. The National Association of Catastrophe Adjusters is an organization founded way back in 1976 to further the interests of catastrophe claims adjusters in the U.S. As part of our ongoing support for NACA, we feature interviews and coverage from this year's annual convention back in January. And by the way, you don't have to be a member to join NACA, but membership has its benefits.
My name is Brian Gilliam. I'm the Executive Vice President with Vanguard. We have both an IA, Vanguard Adjusters Group, and a TPA, third-party administrator. We handle claims both for Lloyd's of London and domestically across almost the entire United States now. We are 23 years old as a company and growing. We really look at it as a valuable tool to expand our 1099 roster. One of the things that's critical for us is making an impression and the right impression on the policyholder. That adjuster is that's the first point of contact, and they represent all those people. So it's important for us to meet those people face to face before we put them in the field under our name. We feel like it's the best resource out there to kind of bring all these different aspects of what is the claims process together, from engineers to the technology that is coming in every day, making claims either easier or different in the way you adjust them, and then the actual boots on the ground, the adjuster in the field. And you can get all of those pieces here. And that's why we come. We come as much for the 1099s, but also to meet some of the other vendors and the other, claim support companies that are out there.
My name's Josh Prue. I'm a new adjuster, got my license in November, and I'm from Orlando, Florida. So I was actually looking at conventions to go at, because I watch a lot of your videos, and you kind of said, network. So I was looking at conventions to go to, and then I happened to come across NAC, and I saw it was in Orlando, so I was like, well, I'm not going to not go to my hometown, convention. And I wanted to get some of the classes done. I wanted to meet a lot of the recruiters face to face, so I could put a face to a name when I talk to them or email them. A lot of interviews. I got a lot tomorrow. Yesterday and today, I spent most of the day doing a State Farm certification. So in between, I got to talk to a few people, but tomorrow I'm pretty packed up.
My name's Walter Letty. I'm the CEO of IAS Claim Services. I've been with IAS for just over 2 years now. And our mission at IAS is to continue to deliver residential and commercial property claim services to our carrier partners. IAS is here at NACA because we believe in the mission of this organization. We've been coming to NACA for as long as I've been at IAS, but this history goes back over a decade, with us coming and continuing to invest in this organization and the adjusters who want to be here. Year over year, every time we come to NACA, we are coming away with at least 100 new people that we've never worked with before that we can go and put to work in the coming storm season. And that's why we're here. We also believe in continuing to educate the adjusters that are here by participating in the sessions, delivering some of the training that's going on here. Every year when we think about how to go get in front of adjusters, NACA is the priority conference for us to attend.
And for discounts on lodging, gear, training, licensing, and CE, as well as one-on-one mentorships, join NACA right now at nacatadj.org. And of course, the convention is an outstanding place to network and one of the best places to interview with dozens and dozens of IA firms all in one place. I'm Matt, and you're watching AdjusterTV News. Adjuster TV News airs at the beginning of every month and includes industry happenings, events, announcements, job postings, and so much more. If you have an announcement that you'd like to get on Adjuster TV's monthly news show, head on over to adjustertv.com/news and shoot us a message. True or false? Renters don't really need separate renter's insurance because if something happens, the damages will be covered by their landlord's insurance. Find out the answer after the break. You ever feel like you've been thrown to the wolves by the IA firms you work for, like you're just a number on a roster? Wouldn't it be nice to work with a firm who's big enough to get plenty of work, but still small enough to know you by your first name? Then let me tell you about my friends at the Oklahoma-based IA firm Pacesetter Claims Service. Founded in 1997, the thing that sets Pacesetter apart is their relentless pursuit of excellence. They hold themselves and their team of adjusters to a higher standard of quality. And now with their advanced all-in-one claims platform called Evo, you'll get a real-time Uber-style map and communication link to the insured, automatic messages sent to customers throughout the process, file review automation, and a fast, accurate scope with Pacesetter's partnership with Hover. Hover is integrated directly into Evo, making for a smooth and seamless field scoping experience for you as the adjuster. Technology is moving faster than ever, and Pacesetter is right there at the cutting edge. And Pacesetter is bringing training to a city near you. Check out their summer tour dates at adjustertv.com/Pacesetter. Okay, true or false? Renters do not need separate renter's insurance because if something happens, the damages will be covered by their landlord's insurance. The answer is false. The damages to the house or the apartment building you live in, if you're a renter, will be covered by your landlord's insurance if they have it, but it will not cover any of your personal property. Renter's insurance is extremely affordable personal property coverage and could save you some real heartache in the event of theft or fire. And now for the big story. Hurricane season officially starts June 1st, 2021 and runs through November 30th. However, statistically, and in my experience as a catastrophe property adjuster, we don't really see the kinds of hurricanes that put adjusters to work until early to mid-August, with the season peaking in mid-September. We can certainly get hurricanes outside of that time frame, but for the most part, the ones that get remembered happen in mid to late summer, including last year in spite of all the hurricanes. Hurricane Laura hit towards the end of August as a Category 4, and that was the first major one. In April of 2020, Colorado State University hurricane researchers predicted an above-average hurricane season in 2020, citing the relatively high likelihood that El Niño conditions would not be present as a primary factor. Tropical and subtropical Atlantic sea surface temperatures at that time were warmer than their long-term average values and were consequently also considered a factor favoring an active 2020 Atlantic hurricane season. The CSU Tropical Meteorology Project team predicted 16 named storms, of which they expected 8 to become hurricanes and 4 to reach major hurricane strength of at least a Category 3, which means sustained winds of 111 miles per hour or greater. However, since by the start of hurricane season we already had 3 named storms, Arthur, Bertha, and Cristobal, CSU revised their forecast up to 19 named storms, with 9 to become hurricanes and 4 to reach major hurricane strength. So let's see, what actually happened in 2020? Well, starting in mid-May, before hurricane season officially starts, Tropical Storm Arthur formed off the coast of Florida, and the season did not let up until Tropical Storm Iota popped up over El Salvador on November 18th. In between those 2 dates, we had 30 named storms, with 7 of those at a Category 3 or greater, for a total of 14 actual hurricanes. Every single one of the hurricanes that formed last year affected an area in Central America, Mexico, or the US, and the entire season cost $51.15 billion, making it the 5th most costly tropical storm season since we started keeping track. By comparison, the number 1 costliest tropical storm season was 2017, coming in at almost $300 billion, with 2005 at number 2 at $172 billion. Was 2020 expensive? Yes, but it was a fraction of the devastation caused by Harvey, Irma, and Maria in 2017. And a lot of adjusters were working and even really getting their start in 2017. I say all this to point out that it doesn't take 14 hurricanes to put adjusters to work. It really only takes 1 or 2. It all depends on the strength of the hurricane, when it makes landfall, and even more importantly, where it makes landfall. Many major hurricanes have come screaming into the coast, only to make landfall in sparsely populated areas. Causing damage, yes. Affecting lives, absolutely yes. And even putting a few adjusters to work. But nothing like those major years. This is what you need to think about when you think about hurricanes. Independent property storm adjusters are kind of like the fire department. The fire department doesn't want anything anywhere to catch on fire ever. But if nothing ever caught on fire, there wouldn't be a need for a fire department. We're always going to have hurricanes and major damaging weather. So firefighters train, and when there's a call, they're not only ready to go, but they're confident in their abilities. They train and keep their gear in tip-top shape, just waiting for the call. I can't speak for firefighters, but I can tell you that when the call comes to deploy to the coast for a major catastrophe, it can kind of be thrilling. As an adjuster, you're excited to get to ground zero and to start helping people get on the road to recovery, to get them back to their pre-loss condition. But major hurricanes that activate large numbers of adjusters aren't always going to happen every single year. That's why we as adjusters need to diversify our skill sets and stay busy doing other CAT and daily work throughout the year, so that when the big call comes, we won't have been sitting on our rears watching the Weather Channel waiting for something to happen. We will have already been out running claims, doing file reviews, doing remote desk adjusting, even doing crop, auto, commercial, condo, contents, liability, RV, etc., you name it. It's a very big industry, and hurricanes, while they are high profile and represent a great opportunity to get into this work, they are not the end-all be-all of who we are and what we do as IAs. Okay, yes, Matt, we get it. Don't put all my eggs in one basket, blah, 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 blah. What is the forecast for 2021 for hurricanes? This year, CSU is projecting 17 named storms during the Atlantic hurricane season. Of those, researchers expect 8 to become hurricanes and 4 to reach major hurricane strength, which is almost exactly what they said last year. And of course, they have no idea where any of these are going to land. So you could have a category 13 hurricane that does circles out in the ocean and doesn't affect anything and then dissipates, right? Only time will tell, but my advice to you is to be ready right now. It is not too late to get licensed, get Xactimate and stability training, learn to scope, identify damage, learn to get a little policy, and get your gear dialed in. We've got plenty of resources to help with all of that stuff at AdjusterTV.com/start and AdjusterTV.com/resources. Coming up, intrepid Adjuster TV weather correspondent Max Olson will have your complete catastrophe weather report, so stay tuned. Which of the following are not covered by a standard homeowner's insurance policy? Earthquakes, insect and termite damage, or water damage? Get the answer coming up next. Are you new to the industry and wondering how you can get started as an independent adjuster with little or no experience? I mean, how can you get any experience if you can't get any experience, right? It's a problem as old as time in any profession. Well, you may have heard of the IA firm and insurance recruiting specialists at the Best IRS. The IRS stood for Insurance Recruiting Specialist. However, the Best recently did a complete rebrand that better reflects their company goals, changing their name to the Best Claims Solutions. Because there has been a considerable increase in task-driven solutions requested by the Best Claims' clients, adjusters can now get their foot in the door and gain experience with the Best Claims Solutions, the Best Inspect program. Not only that, but the Best Claims also offers continuous training to you, the adjuster, and their compliance department helps keep you current on your licenses so you'll never find yourself hitting the pause button on a deployment while you re-up your licenses. When you sign up for the Best Claims' roster, you'll be in contact with a dedicated recruiter who will learn more about your skills, experience, and areas of expertise. And once you're onboarded, anytime that there's an opening that fits your skill set, you'll get a call right away. At the Best Claims, their services are 100% completely free for candidates. Once you're on the roster, you'll have access to independent adjusting opportunities around the country so that you can select what's right for you. Get access to the totally free top 5 tips for preparing for a hurricane deployment video guide over at AdjusterTV.com/thebestclaims. Watch the top 5 tips for preparing for a hurricane deployment for free right now by going to AdjusterTV.com/thebestclaims. Okay, trivia. Which of the following are not covered by a standard homeowner's insurance policy? Earthquakes, insect and termite damage, or water damage? And the answer is, of course, all of the above. Although supplemental policies can be purchased for flood or earthquake coverage. Of course, a basic homeowner's policy does cover damage due to theft, fire, lightning, or hailstorms. These days, there are more and more desk and remote roles for independent adjusters than ever. With all the new technologies now available, many IA firms are splitting up the traditional role of one adjuster into 2 distinct roles: a scoper and a writer. A scoper goes out and takes photos with their smartphone and sometimes fills out a scope sheet or uses a guided app to gather images and measurements of losses and create a report. This report gets uploaded and assigned to a writer who then gets to write that estimate and possibly settle the claim. Say what you will about this new way of doing things, but it's not going away anytime soon. Sorry to break it to you. And the truth is, it's actually providing many more new opportunities for adjusters, whether experienced adjusters or brand spanking new. People with little to no claims experience can get their feet wet in what is arguably the easiest part of the whole entire process: scoping losses. Once they've gotten some experience doing that, and they've picked up some additional training, they can move into a desk role, which in 2021 really means sitting at home in your PJs on the couch, working on claims files. No manager looking over your shoulder, no dress code, get up and grab a bag of chips whenever you want to. I mean, come on. But wouldn't it be great if a nationally recognized and respected training outfit provided in-depth training that resulted in a real certification that IA firms and carriers respected for desk adjusting? Well, I got good news for you. There is. I give you the Haag Certified Reviewer Program, built specifically for inside reviewers and desk adjusters. The Haag Certified Reviewer Program provides training on construction basics, estimating and damage assessment for claims and underwriting professionals who work behind a desk rather than in the field. Enhance your knowledge, make confident decisions on claims, and create solid, accurate files with this new certification. I've taken the training, and I can tell you that this certification leaves no stone unturned. It's all video-based, so you're not just getting a huge zip file full of outdated PDFs. And because it's Haag, you know that your certification will carry weight when an IA firm recruiter sees it on your resume. And more than that, you'll be getting current information on construction, damage ID, and estimatics from a forensic engineering firm that is dedicated to serving our industry and has for like 100 years. This training was developed by a team of professionals from the insurance and construction industry, not just by engineers. So you know that it's real-world, actionable information that you can use on your claims right now. And you know, I've been using Haag's excellent damage ID books in the field for years and years and years. If you wondered who sets the standard for what we consider hail damage across the industry, I don't care what carrier you're working for, it's Haag Engineering, right? And going through the certification courses, it occurred to me that even field adjusters will absolutely benefit from this training. If you're looking for construction and damage identification knowledge, I'm gonna just say it. This is the training you're looking for. You know, you guys ask me all the time about construction training, and I feel like I never have a very good answer for you. Now I do. Xactware's ILX construction training is decent, but it's a bit out of date. Haag Education's HCR training honestly blows it out of the water. So here's how the Haag HCR certification shakes out. Level 1 is essential residential construction. Level 2 is damage identification. And level 3 is estimating using Xactimate and or Symbility. You can learn one or the other or both for the same price. And I'm informed that there's a level 4 coming later in 2022 that will have advanced electives so that you can build a custom certification. Oh yeah, and there's a nice discount if you use the code AdjusterTV at checkout. Head on over to HaagEducation.com right now and get started on this vital certification. And by the way, the 10% discount counts for all of these fine Haag products. Haag books and tools, the Haag Certified Inspector Training, the Haag Certified Reviewer Training, and Haag On Demand, which is Haag's LMS on-demand training. Check it out at HaagEducation.com right now. And again, AdjusterTV for the discount. What is the actual size of a 2x4? Is it 2x4, 1.5 by 3.5, 2.5 by 4.5, or 1 by 3? Find out when we come back. If you're an auto claims adjuster or appraiser, you already know that SCA is one of the top companies that you can work for on the auto side. But if you're a property adjuster who's never done any auto, you may have never even heard of SCA. We've heard of them now. SCA Claim Services is launching their property division, and they're poised to bring their decades of claims management experience and extensive resources to the property side of things. Insurance carriers already trust SCA because they know they will always receive a high level of customer service and policyholder satisfaction. And with literally millions of claims handled in SCA's 4-decade history, carriers trust SCA to help them avoid unnecessary costs by handling every claim, every time with unparalleled accuracy and a commitment to doing things the right way. I mean, these guys are old school, right? Since 1979, SCA has been exceeding expectations. Only a company dedicated to serving and taking care of people, including their adjusters, can a company like this continue to grow in this industry. Join the team with industry-leading NPS scores and cycle times that has the resources to bring new opportunities for not only auto adjusters, but now for property adjusters. To get started with SCA Claim Services, head on over to AdjusterTV.com/SCA. And while you're there, don't forget to download the totally free SCA Claim Services Field Adjuster Gear Guide. Again, that's AdjusterTV.com/SCA to download the free gear guide and to apply. Okay, what is the actual size of a 2x4 piece of lumber? 2 inches by 4 inches, 1.5 inches by 3.5 inches, 2.5 by 4.5, or 1 inch by 3 inch? And the answer is 1.5 inches by 3.5 inches. 2x4 and other dimensional lumber are named for their nominal dimension. Nominal meaning that that's just what they're called. That's their name. Nominal means name, right? So the actual size for things like 2x lumber is actually about 1/2 inch less. Why? The internet seems to think that it's because of the kiln drying and planing process that boards go through at the sawmill. Kind of like ordering a quarter pounder, but it losing some weight during cooking because of moisture loss. IA Path announces that they now have RV, fifth wheel, and travel trailer estimating training. This training includes a live training course as well as an RV pricing master guide that can be imported in CCC1 as part codes. So that's kind of like RV macros for all of us property people. Chris Stanley, the founder of IA Path, said that this pricing guide was created because it is extremely difficult for independent adjusters and appraisers to get RV pricing, and the major estimating software platforms do not have part pricing or labor built into them. So this was their solution for independent adjusters. You can check it all out at iapath.com/RV. One Click Code, the company that brings you building codes in every zip code in the nation with just one click, have been listening to you. As an adjuster, you need documentation to defend your estimates. One Click has 4 new PDF reports that you can download and share to create defensible estimates. There's a code detail with images, manufacturer requirements, building design criteria, and hailstorm history. Here's One Click Code's founder, Garrett Kurt, with more.
Within the report, we also are going to be expanding to include the chief building official. So we've had a lot of people asking about, hey, I want to know a good contact. Well, we're not going to give you the email address, but we'll give you the name of it. You can understand why. If we gave the email addresses to everybody, people would be emailing the chief building official and they wouldn't like us too much. So we're at least giving you the name of who you should speak to, as well as direct contact to the actual the building department itself. We've expanded to include the ice and water shield. So like one of our cool features that we added was documentation for ice and water shield. So in this particular case, if I click on this, a new report's going to pop up and it's going to tell me, it's going to verify that no ice and water shield's not required, and it's a document straight from the city or county. That's something we added when we were partnered with the municipalities. I'm sorry, when we partnered with the insurance companies. They're like, well, for the time being, we really want to improve the concept. Can you get us documentation? And so we started going out and getting documentation. I think we're up to 6,500 cities and counties across the country out of the 28,000 or 25,000. We're getting about 300 to 400 per week of these documents in. You can imagine that takes a while to basically get them all into our system and accounted for.
Sure.
And then what we added next was a part of documentation. We realized that a lot of the adjusters and contractors that were going out, they would like to know really quickly and identify if there's any hail that's affected this property. And so we've now been able to, we're getting the same information as everybody else directly from NOAA, and we're running algorithms to figure out the hail maps. We did this for internal purposes, and we decided to release it to everybody else. And so right now we have, it's part of being free. Yeah. So this is just a quick little snapshot. So this whole entire page is a snapshot. Now, if I go over to the right-hand corner and click on this ellipsis, it now allows me to click on the reports I'd like to see. So all I care about right now is hailstorm history. So I'm actually going to generate a report where it goes back, I think, six or 7 years, maybe longer. But really, it's the most important is 1 to 2 years. Right. But here's our report right here. It gives us our at location 1 mile, 2 mile, and 3 mile of hailstorms. And this is all free as part of the actual report itself. So you're able to do multiple reports as part of an address.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So this is a PDF. So this is something you can download or you can share. And then what we have next is going to be your building design criteria. This is going to be something that's really geared towards your total loss type adjusters or situations, fire or flood potentially. Maybe not flood as much as fire and hurricane. And so then you look at the other professionals that would use it. And that would be your general contractors that are rebuilding the home. You also have your design professionals, such as your architect or engineer. And as I click on it, it's going to generate a lot more code information that most people than ever even knew existed. And the reason that is because going into building a home, there's a lot of things. You got your plumbing, you got your electrical, you got your HVAC, and we're actually have those codes. Let me make this a little bit bigger in here. As you'll see here is we have all of the building code books that are needed, as well as a breakdown on the sales tax. And then we get into your design criteria. We're getting snow loads. So these go into potentially commercial roofs, but mostly it goes into rebuilding. Your frost, your termites, your seismic. This is all things that a design professional is going to need in order to rebuild that house. We now have that at your fingertips. We also decided that our code detail report, and that's just pages 2, 3, which used to be just line text, just like, hey, it's really boring text. What we decided to do was give it life. And giving it life, what Jessie, who's on the call right now, did, and she's amazing at this, is she gave more of images, right? So we're looking at, what are we really looking at? It kind of aligns with what manufacturer specifications documents look like, but we actually made it very easy to use, very easy to see, which is no, that ice and water shield's not required. But if it was, this is where it would be. It's highlighted as 1 up here in the left-hand corner, and then it's focused in and zoomed in on the right-hand side. And then we go into, drip edge. Where does drip edge go? It's highlighted with the orange around the edge. Now, this is not something that necessarily most adjusters need, but if you have new adjusters that are just learning, this could be useful. You have new contractors that are learning, that could be useful. You can have very experienced contractors that don't know how to articulate this to be able to give it to a homeowner. This is helpful. Either way, this is documentation to help make the entire process smoother and more transparent to all parties involved. And so we have Value Liner.
Fantastic.
And so I think a lot of even contractors and adjusters don't really quite understand the difference between Value Liner and a valley. So a closed valley is when the shingles go across, and then below is the valley liner, which still needs to be a leak protection. When you have an open valley, which is metal going down, you still need to have a valley liner underneath. And this illustrates that, so that the code it gives the code life. It takes the text and gives it a picture so that people can quickly understand what we're talking about. And then you have the double felts. You have felt and the double felt here. What does double felt mean? It should be it's not double top each other, but it's definitely offsetting every 19 inches. And so it gives an illustration for that. And chimney cricket, we had a lot of questions about chimney cricket. I was really surprised. And not because of the fact that people didn't know what it was. It was more of the fact of, when do you need it? And that was it was buried in the code book. So we decided to add chimney cricket to our reports to help those understand when a chimney cricket is required. And that has to do with when the actual roof side or the ridge side of the chimney is greater than 30 inches, you need to have a slope that actually moves the water away. And so we illustrated it, plus we give that example in our reports. So that's our code detail. We wanted to take the text and bring it to life with images. So we can thank Jesse for that.
Thank you very much, Jesse. That's amazing. And I think when adjusters are sitting there, you know, having a conversation with the contractor, and the contractor knows a lot of this stuff, they have that report there. They can communicate with that contractor and you know, intelligently, instead of being, well, I guess so, or no, you know, when really, you know, what is double felt, right? So, I mean, that's something that not everybody knows. And if you got a picture of it right there, it says that it's the code or it's not code. I mean, it's huge. It's huge.
So one of the big major takeaways is that you can locate the information in many different places on the internet, on Google and whatnot, or just by calling, but you're not able to document every time. Screenshots don't always work. Being able to call the city and county, they don't call you back, or they email you back, and the time takes to call and email people and respond back could be hours. And then you're like, did I forget? Did I call them? Those things all require you to think about it. Whereas here, it's one step, it documents for you, so you don't have to think about it as over the course of the days waiting for return calls. And even if you have the information, you know it, you still need to back it up. And so we do both.
Download the app and get a 14-day free trial right now at oneclickcode.com. The SCA appraisal company that you know and love is changing their name to SCA Claims Services as they launch a new property claims division. This promises expanded opportunities for IAs with a company that has been around for decades. Here's SCA President Tim Davis with more.
SCA has been around since 1979, and over the course of these 40-plus years, we've been primarily focused on auto and specialty claims. We've poured countless hours and resources into creating processes and technologies that ensure our customers receive the fastest, most accurate claims experience delivered with the industry's best service and communication. My family founded this company on one very simple premise: just make it easy to do business with SCA. And our customers feel that, and they've acknowledged it by way of NPS result, quarter after quarter. So they are actually the ones who came to us and said, you know, we love working with SCA on auto and specialty claims, but do you think you'll ever do property claims too? Well, we took that feedback once again and poured our energy into creating a nationwide licensed property adjusting network and building an internal QA team of general adjusters that we believe are second to none. SCA has been doing more than just appraisals for decades. We provide re-inspections, underwriting inspections, asset verification, appraisal clause, diminished value claims, just to name a few. But with the launch of our property adjusting service, it seemed more evident than ever that renaming the company as SCA Claim Services more accurately captures all we offer our clients, and also better positions us to continue to grow and evolve.
For more information and to download the absolutely free SCA Claim Services Field Adjuster Gear Guide, head on over to AdjusterTV.com/SCA right now. And speaking of gear, up next we've got our new AdjusterTV patches for the Bullybag G2 and a kick butt new 100-foot tape that's so good you'll wonder how you ever ran field claims without it. Someone breaks into your car and steals your laptop and camera. Which type of insurance will cover this loss? Auto insurance, renter's insurance, or homeowner's insurance? Get the answer after the break. Hey, Mr. Insured, how's it going?
It's going great today. How are you doing?
Good. This is actually Guy Grand from Veteran Adjusting School. So you want to learn claims from the most experienced veteran adjusters, but you can't find anybody who will let you ride along with them? Then let me tell you about AdjusterTV Plus. Developed by AdjusterTV and its industry partners, including the high-end training center of Veterans Adjusting School in Arizona, AdjusterTV Plus is a growing library of in-depth training videos created just for independent adjusters. Learn scoping and estimating from professional trainers and adjusters. Learn how to handle customer interactions with confidence. Learn the ins and outs of scoping and estimating exterior hail claims. And detailed videos about how to handle smoke, ice dam, water claims, and auto claims. AdjusterTV Plus also features the very best of 3 years of AdjusterTV's YouTube videos, educational, entertaining, and inspiring. Come ride along with us on AdjusterTV Plus. These days, there are a growing number of remote work opportunities for independent adjusters. With scoper writer programs popping up all over the place, you can do photo and scope in the field, or you can just sit at home in your PJs and write the estimates on what the scoper got when they were out in the field. And it doesn't matter where you live, as long as you have the internet, you can write claims as a desk adjuster. But you can't get that sweet gig without being licensed. So if you live in Nebraska, which doesn't require an adjuster to be licensed, you still have to have a New York license to write claims somebody scoped in New York. Make sense? Of all the credentials you need as an adjuster, there really is none more important than your adjuster license, especially your first one. You're going to need it to do just about everything else, including some adjuster schools even require you to have one before they'll let you enroll. So you need Adjuster Pro. Adjuster Pro provides a comprehensive and easy to use way to get and maintain your adjuster licenses. Most importantly, Adjuster Pro was founded by independent adjusters, and the team at Adjuster Pro is dedicated to helping you thrive as an adjuster with resources for every licensing state, including dead simple CE packages. Adjuster Pro is the gold standard for adjuster licensing. You'll find everything you need to get licensed in one place. Go to adjustertv.com/adjusterpro right now. Okay, somebody breaks into your car and steals your laptop and camera. Which type of insurance will cover this loss? Is it auto insurance, renter's insurance, or homeowner's insurance? And the answer is B or C, renter's or homeowner's insurance. These items may be covered under the personal property portion of your homeowner's or renter's insurance. However, it should be noted that some homeowners' policies will only cover the items if they are stolen from your home. Always read the policy. Okay, check this out. Show your support for AdjusterTV on your new Bullybag G2. The Bullybag G2 Ultra Pouch is a unique adjuster tool belt that has no belt. Made with 1680 ballistic nylon, the G2 comes with a reinforced paddle clip, and you can get it to match the color of the double-stitched accent thread, which comes in black, gray, or pink. There are 15 specialty pouches in all, including a business card chamber, because you gotta have them, and you probably left them in the truck. I mean, literally everything you need for fast, efficient, lightweight field claims handling will go into this bag. Your pitch gauge, your sighting tool, your camera, your iPhone, your shingle gauge, your laser, chalk. And speaking of chalk, every tool belt or bag that I've ever used quickly gets filled up with little tiny chalk pieces and chalk dust. Because of that, this dude is also easy to clean. The floating main chamber pulls out, making cleaning and maintenance a breeze, so you can get all the dust off of that thing, right? It also has a daisy chain feature along the outer bottom, great for attaching additional gear. It's also got 4 1-inch powder-coated D-rings, which give you a lot of places to clip off things like your clipboard or your new 100-foot tape, right? There are 3 elastic pockets with oversized flaps for your phone, laser, camera, etc. And these elastic ridges provide additional security. And there's a utility tape measure clip for your fancy pants tape measure up here. And speaking of tape measures, this thing has a really big magnet that will stick to steel and iron. You also get 2 vertical tool slots for linear tools like a sidebar or a Haag shingle gauge. You also get 4 pen and pencil holsters for keeping spare pencils and writing things. You could probably also stick soapstone in there if you're a soapstone guy. The Bullybag G2 Ultra Pouch paddle is made of rigid impact resistant material and is reinforced with 3 steel rivets and color matched to the accent thread. And of course, you can slap a 3x4 soft hook and loop patch right on here. Got this one. I also have this America one. Probably could even use this for like fishing flies. I'm just spitballing. I think for me, one of the best things about a bag like this is that it zips up so that at the end of a long day in the field, you can just slip it out of your waistband and toss it on the floor behind your seat without all your stuff flying out. Also, when you're on a big, steep, spooky roof, you can stay hands-free and keep all your gear locked in so that you're not creating a fall hazard for yourself or a falling objects hazard for people, pets, or property below you. Trust me, you don't want to have your tape measure landing on the hood of Mrs. Insured's brand new Mercedes. Head on over to AdjusterTV.com/resources to order your new Bullybag G2, and check this out. If you're one of the next 50 people to buy a new G2 from AdjusterTV.com/resources, you will get a free Adjuster TV patch to prove that you're legit. Coming up, Adjuster TV partners with a major tape company to bring you professional tapes and wheels with a discount. And later, check out my Xactimate Mobile LiDAR demo. Okay, break out your calculators and pocket protectors. What is the area of this roof facet? The length is 24 foot by a height of 8 foot with a 14-foot ridge length. Is it 112 square feet, 192 square feet, 336 square feet, or 46 square feet? You should already have the answer. Check your math when we come back.
Being a claim adjuster can be a rewarding experience, helping people during a time of need. However, that experience can quickly turn in the form of claims or lawsuits made against you. Facing a lawsuit can be a terrifying and stressful experience, jeopardizing years of hard work and success. If you don't have adequate insurance coverage, you are putting yourself at great financial risk. Don't stand alone. Let Kaplik stand with you. At Kaplik, we provide financial security and peace of mind through our insurance products designed specifically for the independent claim adjuster. What makes Kaplik unique is our industry-leading expertise in providing guidance, risk management, and support to reduce your risk, protect your reputation, and maintain client relationships. Unlike other insurance providers, our coverage is straightforward and easy to understand, tailored exclusively for claim adjusters and insurance service firms. Our in-house expertise and experienced staff understand the nuances of the adjusting industry, a difference you'll feel and understand from the moment you contact us. After all, Kaplik was founded and continues to be run by independent adjusters. Just like you, we handle everything so you don't have to. From individual adjusters to national leaders, Kaplik is there for you. With Kaplik, you're not just a policyholder, you're an owner. Kaplik is member-owned and member-run, which means that you get a say in how we best serve you. If you make your living as an independent claim adjuster, stop paying for generic or inadequate coverage that may not fully protect you. Join the Kaplik family for a personalized experience. Premiums start at surprisingly affordable prices for all of the coverage you need. For a fast quote, apply online now at www.cplic.net/apply.
What is the area of this 24 by 8 foot facet that has a 14-foot ridge vent? Is it 112, 192, 336, or 46 square feet? And the answer is 192 square feet. The formula for any parallelogram is base times height. Forget about the ridge. Super simple. So last month I showed you a crazy little thing called a logger's tape. And some of you out there sent me emails asking for more information on it, and still others of you already knew what this thing was. Well, I reached out to the company US Tape, who makes these industrial strength tapes, and we had a nice little chat about what else they had and if they had anything that would be better for adjusters. Turns out that they do. The Spencer Auto Rewind Pro Tape is essentially the same thing as the logger's tape, except that the Pro Tape has a locking brake and an engineer's hook, which is basically the same thing you find on most 100-foot tape so that you can hook it on stuff, right? And of course, it still has the belt hook, which can go on your belt loop or your brand new Bullybag G2. This thing is made almost completely of metal. It's heavy duty and it's ready for many years of abuse in the field. And for all that, it's actually pretty inexpensive, especially considering the build quality of these things and the fact that if you wreck your tape, you can order a new tape and install it in minutes just by unscrewing this thing. And on top of everything else, I got you a nice discount. Just use the coupon code AdjusterTV at checkout to get a 10% discount. Who's looking out for you? Up next, an IA firm is bringing adjuster training to a town near you. All right, trivia question. A component inside an insured's dishwasher fails and causes water to leak out and damage the flooring in their kitchen. Assume a standard HO3 homeowner's policy. Is the damage to the flooring covered, but repairing the dishwasher not covered? Is both the damage to the flooring and the dishwasher covered? Is only repairing the dishwasher covered, or are neither covered? Mitigate this one after the break. If you're interested in getting the absolute best property claims training available, then I want to tell you about my friends over at Veteran Adjusting School in Sedona, Arizona. As a licensed vocational school, Veteran Adjusting School trains you to become a complete insurance adjuster with a focus on catastrophe property adjusting. When you graduate from the VAS trained insurance adjuster program, you're ready to begin your exciting new career, whether as a daily adjuster or as a CAT adjuster. Listen, there are many outstanding adjuster schools out there and you have to get some training somewhere. But VAS stands out among its peers for the depth and breadth of its program, as well as its continuing support and mentorship for graduates long after students become working adjusters. Go to AdjusterTV.com/VAS now and chat with an enrollment specialist who will answer all of your questions and help you decide if VAS is the right choice for you. AdjusterTV.com/VAS. Okay, a component inside an insured's dishwasher fails and causes water to leak out and damage the flooring in their kitchen on an HO3. Is the answer that only the flooring is covered and not the dishwasher? Is it both the flooring and the dishwasher are covered for repairs? Is it only repairing the dishwasher is covered, or are neither one of them covered? And the answer is only the damage to the flooring is covered. As the adjuster, you will need to recover the damaged component from the dishwasher and send it to a forensic engineering service to determine the cause of the failure of the part. This is called subrogation. The carrier will attempt to recover the cost of the repairs to the insured's house from the dishwasher manufacturer. If money can be recovered, the first thing many carriers will do is repay the insured's deductible. This provides an incentive for the insured to keep the dishwasher and any parts associated with it for the adjuster instead of dragging them out to the curb. Do you live in the Dallas-Fort Worth area? Well, that's great for you. You've got access to more than a dozen IA firm and independent adjuster training centers right in your backyard. Don't live in or anywhere near DFW or Texas for that matter? Seems like if you want to get some hands-on adjuster training, you'll have to pack up the truck and pay for fuel and hotels. Man, wouldn't it be great if the training just came to you? Well, good news is Pacesetter Claim Service will be touring the country bringing the training to you. Isn't it nice to watch a news show that has only good news? Find the latest dates and locations at AdjusterTV.com/Pacesetter right now. New locations and dates are being added all the time. After the break, the Towering Inferno Max Olson will go deep on the spring storm season and what to expect as we push into the summer hurricane season. What would the width of a window be that is 4.0 by 6.0? Is it there's not enough information to answer the question? 6 feet, 4 feet, or 10 feet? The answer when we come back.
As an independent adjuster, do you feel like you only have bad, expensive choices for health insurance plans? And when you have to use the insurance, you'll have to pay a lot out of pocket? Makes you wonder why you even have insurance in the first place. The stakes are high. Having no coverage puts you and your family at risk. It doesn't have to be this way. You want peace of mind with common sense health coverage you can count on. That doesn't include things you don't need. You need real insurance with world-class protection from established carriers, not health sharing and not cobbled together prepaid medical. And you shouldn't have to wait for it. Get approved in days, not weeks. There is no risk and no cost to see if you qualify for these high-quality plans. Not everybody will qualify, but you've got nothing to lose by getting a free consultation. Visit AdjusterTV.com/health for more information and to apply.
This is Adjuster TV.
If you see a contractor's estimate and it has a 4-0 by 6-0 on it for a window, what does that mean? Does it mean that you don't have any information? You can't answer that question? Does it mean it's 6 feet for the width? Does it mean it's 4 feet for the width, or is it 10 feet? And the answer is C, 4 feet. When giving dimensions of windows or doors, the width is always first, followed by the height. Okay, here's Adjuster TV weather correspondent Max Olson with your Adjuster Storm recap and forecast.
Thanks, Matt. Well, it certainly has been quite an active severe weather season thus far, and it's not over yet. We're going to talk about some of the major impacting hailstorms in the last month, as well as look into the future of what June may hold. But before we get into that, let's talk a little bit more about hurricanes. Now, as Matt said, we are once again likely to see an above average season in the Atlantic Basin, but obviously that doesn't mean that those storms are going to make landfall. 2020 was a staggering season when it came to landfalls, and in fact some new data has just come out about one of the last storms to make landfall of the year. Hurricane Zeta made landfall in southern Louisiana in late October. It was initially progged to be a Category 1 hurricane, but strengthened rapidly as it approached the coast. As it was making landfall, the storm was rated a high-end Category 2, but the National Hurricane Center and NOAA goes back over all the hurricanes that made landfall and does a review to see if anything needs to be changed. This usually happens about a year or so after the storm actually makes landfall, and sometimes for more intense storms can take even longer. Their research showed that Zeta was actually a Category 3 as it was making landfall in southern Louisiana. Now, Category 3 and higher storms are called major hurricanes, and now 2020 is tied with 2005 for major landfalling hurricanes, and this is also now the latest storm in the season to ever be given a major hurricane rating. As we go into the 2021 season, be sure to stay tuned here at Adjuster TV for live hurricane coverage. We are going to attempt to do full streaming of the entire hurricane chase from start to finish for any storms that make landfall. But now let's talk about what's been happening more recently. That's hail. April 28th was an absolutely historic day when it came to hailstorms. We had 3 supercells moving into densely populated areas all at the exact same time. One here where I live in Norman, Oklahoma, one in the Dallas-Fort Worth metro area, and another down in San Antonio. Each one of these storms packed up to baseball-sized hail at some point in their life. The storm that hit here in Norman, I was able to experience firsthand. Here you can see video taken from a restaurant just on the west side of Interstate 35. This is tennis ball to baseball sized hail being wind driven at 70 miles per hour. We went and inspected some of the car lots that had been impacted by the storm moments after it had passed. Catastrophic damage was reported from each one of these storms, and really if you haven't heard about it by now, you must have been under a rock because it has been absolutely crazy when it comes to claims in Oklahoma and Texas. These will likely start to fade out as we get into June, but we are still not out of the woods yet for severe weather. As this video is being shot in late May, we are still in an active pattern and we are still having numerous storms with tornadoes and hail throughout the central and southern plains, none of which have impacted a severely populated area such as the storms on April 28th did, but it certainly could happen. As we get into June, we should start to see a bit more of a ridging pattern over the southern and central United States, meaning likely a break from that severe weather. But as that jet lifts further to the north, the northern plains are going to start to get in on the action for severe hail. I hope everybody's having a great season so far. Like I said, there's a lot of work out there and it's not over yet, so be prepared for anything to happen. As we saw even earlier in April, there were a lot of pop-up storms that just kind of came out of nowhere, and those are absolutely possible as we get into June, July, and August. Thank you all so much for watching. Back to you, Matt.
You can catch Max on YouTube at Max Olson Chasing. True or false, all homeowners policies already include full replacement cost for personal property. Get the answer after the break. Are you new to the professional claims industry, confused about exactly how to get started as an IA, worried that the advice you're getting on social media might not be totally accurate? Then you need to check out IA Path. IA Path helps adjusters get started in their new career in 90 days with online mentorship programs and training. If you need help getting started or making a transition as an adjuster, head over to iapath.com/AdjusterTV for a free video course showing you how to get working in the next 90 days. That's iapath.com/AdjusterTV. Okay, true or false? All homeowners policies already include full replacement cost for personal property. And the answer is false. In many states and for many insurance companies, homeowners policies show personal property as actual cash value only. Always check the policy and the declarations page to be sure that the insured has replacement costs for personal property, aka contents. I had a friend adjuster, definitely not me, who had one several years ago where the insured's 40 by 60 outbuilding that was full of personal property items burned to the ground. My friend committed to paying replacement costs for the contents items and got in a lot of hot water with both the insured and his or her manager. The deck page will usually say something like PPRC or personal property replacement cost. It's important to note that in most cases where personal property needs to be added, that the insured has to sign a document declining PPRC if for some crazy reason they think that they don't want it. Seems like a dumb way to try and save money. Okay, what we're gonna do is in this video is we're gonna do a test, kind of do a demo of the LiDAR functionality. This is an iPhone 12 Pro I just got. And first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna set up a new project in Xactimate so that I can show you guys kind of the process of getting the claim from Xactimate onto your phone and then from your phone back to Xactimate. So we create a new document here, LiDAR test, create. And then I'm gonna save and exit. And then we go into Xactimate Mobile here, and I'm gonna go to all projects and go to LiDAR test right there. I'm going to download it. It says it's checked out on another device, but I'm going to go ahead and just grab it from here, and it's going to pull it down for us. And then I'll go to local, to LiDAR test, open it up, and start estimating. Okay, so from here, what we're going to do is I'm going to jump in, select main level, and then hit sketch on my Xactimate Mobile. Click this little guy up here in the upper right hand corner, select Sketch AR, and then I'm going to start a LiDAR capture. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to start in this hallway and just select the walls and then put the doors and the missing wall in here, and away we go. So you grab the first wall, then you grab this second wall, which is the door, but where it's kind of tight quarters in here. Wall 3, wall 4, and then this last wall. And then you'll notice that this is the last wall. After you get the last wall, then you'll see the measurements pop in on each one of the walls, right? Which is pretty cool. And you'll notice also that this floor is kind of, it's not just a rectangular, it's just a square shape. It's got an angle on it. So I wanted to test that to see how this would handle that, and it seems to not care. So when you want to add a door, then you select the door button and you click the lower right hand corner or the lower left hand corner, and then you go up to the opposite corner, hit the door button again, and it will say this is a front bedroom door. Front bedroom 1 door, save door name, and then we'll grab this other door here. And we'll say front bedroom 2 door. And then we'll grab this little hallway closet door. We're going to call it hall closet door. And then we get this missing wall here, which is this opening. And this is the entry into living. And then we have this door here, which is goes into the master bedroom. Master bedroom door. And then we have finally the bathroom door. We'll call this a hall bath door. And then when we're done with that, then we'll tap end room, and it'll give you a little preview of the diagram that you just made showing the openings and everything, and you hit confirm. If it doesn't look quite right to you, or if it does some weird little funky thing sticking out, you can go back and keep working on it. Hit confirm, and then it gives us the option to move to the next room, right? So you're not quite done with this sketch until you hit return to sketch in the upper left-hand corner, but we're gonna do, not that room. We'll add the hall bathroom to this sketch. So I can kind of show you that. So when you click on the door that goes into that particular room, then it gives you the option to add next room, whether you want to do AR or LiDAR. We're gonna pick LiDAR, and then we're gonna call this the hall bath. And save room name, and then we'll start. I'm going to start up here because that shower enclosure adds a couple of inches. So I'm going to put the first wall there, second wall here, third wall. This has also got a kind of a weird offset here. Fourth wall here, fifth wall, and then the last wall. So you can see, even though I started the first wall up there, it's getting the whole room, and it just puts all the measurements right around the room here. Let me get Justin there videotaping. Same deal in here. If we want to add a window, we would go up to select missing wall and lower left corner. I'm just doing lower left corner, upper right hand corner. Call this bathroom window. I would name things the what it is and where it is, because later on when you get into your sketch, you want to be sure that you don't get things confused. And then we're going to add this door. Right here, like so. And this is the door into hall. And then hit end room. And from here, it asks you to tap the opening that you entered the room through so that it can decide where to put this on your sketch. So we came in obviously through the door into the hall, hit confirm, and then now there's our sketch, right? And when we're done with it, if that's all we want to do on this particular sketch, then in the upper left-hand corner, we're going to click on return to sketch. It says we'll end the current session, blah, blah, blah. Yep. And then there is our sketch, right? With measurements and everything. Now we kind of notice here that these are a little bit offset. I'm not sure exactly why that happens, but that's something that we can fix later in Xactimate. But from there, I'm gonna hit exit project, and it's gonna update that and send it back up to Xactimate. So let's go to Xactimate. So in my iPhone app here in Xactimate Mobile, it gives me the option for the arrow that goes up to the cloud, which means you're going to send it back to the cloud. So I'm going to send this file back up to the cloud, which takes it off of my phone and it puts it into the cloud. Any day. There we go. And then we jump into Xactimate desktop, and we should find LiDAR tests right there. It's going to download it and drop it into our local folder there. And then we're just going to open it up from here and jump into Estimate Sketch. Go to level 1 and boom. There's our sketch ready to be edited. If you have an iPhone 12 Pro or 12 Pro Max or a 2020 iPad Pro or later with LiDAR and you have Xactimate Mobile installed, you already have access to Xactimate Mobile's LiDAR functionality. For more information, go to Xactware.com and under Products, navigate to Xactimate. You can also call Xactware Sales at 800-424-9228. If you've been watching AdjusterTV for a while, then you know that when I talk about running claims and the ever-changing technology associated with scoping and writing estimates, I'm always focusing on claim accuracy and customer service first, but a very close second is speed and volume. Again, since we usually don't get paid by the hour, we get paid by the claim, we want to close as many high-quality claims as possible in as short a time as possible. The math is simple. If I make something like an average of $300 per claim, closing 3 claims a day is pretty good, but closing 6 claims a day is a lot better, right? This is why I haven't fully jumped on the drone bandwagon. Yes, I own a drone, and yes, there are plenty of times where my drone will be useful in scoping a dangerous, complex, or otherwise inaccessible structure. However, because up to now, the logistics of managing a bunch of batteries, no-fly zones around airports and government areas, the danger that an out-of-control drone poses to pets, people, and property, and the hassle of getting a license to fly the thing have stood in the way of that most critical of metrics, volume. In other words, if it takes me more time to set up and fly a drone than it does to just hop on my ladder and scope the building, I'm not going to incorporate it into my workflow, especially for the main bread and butter claims that keep food on the table for a cat property adjuster, which are hail claims. And of course, for hail claims, those are going to be about 999% roof claims. That is until now. What if you could fly your drone straight up, let it take a picture, and then get complete roof measurements in just a few minutes, and an ESX that you can drop into Xactimate in less than an hour after that? No complex flight patterns, and a super short flight time means minimal drain on the battery and less chance of mishap. I recently spoke with Jeffrey Marcus from Certifly to talk about the cutting edge in aerial data acquisition for adjusters.
Thank you very much, Matt, for having me. My name is Jeffrey Marcus, and I am the co-founder of Certifly. It's a company that started a few years ago with the advent of drones getting into the drone space. I have a partner, his name is Jerome Reyes, and together we are kind of leading the industry when it comes to utilizing drones in the insurance space. My company itself creates rooftop measurements that can be done in real time, which means that you can launch a drone, land it in about 90 seconds, and essentially get a fully baked report back in about 15 minutes and an ESX file in about an hour. So that's like where we're coming from. That's where the market is starting from. And we're just going to build from beyond that. And so Certifly, it's a company that started in 2016. What we've been doing since then has been executing off of a patent that we received in 2017. It goes back to 2011, but it was only received in 2017. What that patent does is allows for drones to create job estimates, essentially fly and output measurements in real time. There's more to it than that, but that's kind of like the simplified version. And then specifically, what we're doing today is going to be something that's going to be automated as well. So our deliverable is the ability of creating these measurements in real time, 15 minutes, but eventually be like 15 milliseconds because the drone app will be drawing it. And the idea here also is we talk about roofing. That's really easy for us right now. We can go up, take one picture, come back down and land and be able to extract multiple pitches using one single image. That's kind of like where we started from. However, eventually the drone itself will do sighting. It'll shoot inwards. It'll take multiple pictures and a 3D, I hate to say a 3D model, but at least a roof measurement and sighting measurement report can be drawn from that. It might even be easier than just walking around the premises because your drone is really doing it. They're avoiding the fences, they're avoiding the dogs, they're avoiding the alleys. There's a variety of different things that you could do with a drone that you would avoid when you're up in the air and there's nothing really stopping you from taking pictures inward. rather than shooting from the ground. We can deliver what I mentioned earlier, a roof measurement report in about 15 minutes, an ESX file in about an hour. That's kind of like what the adjusters want. And what's really nice is it's all done on demand. So you can order it at that moment and then get it back. It's not like you're ordering it and getting it back a few hours or a day later. You're going to get it back in a very short amount of time while you're still in the field.
And you may also recognize Jeffrey from the extremely popular Drones for Insurance Facebook group. Certifly hasn't officially launched yet, but it is available right now at certifly.com. Find the full press release at adjustertv.com/news. And you can catch the complete interview with Jeffrey Marcus on drones on Adjuster TV Radio coming soon. Finally, IAS Claim Services is rapidly growing and has picked up some new carrier clients. They're heavily recruiting right now for adjusters and are specifically looking for residential property field adjusters, commercial field adjusters, and desk adjusters nationwide. Contact them at recruiting@iasclaims.com to take the next step with IAS Claim Services. Also, IAS has been touring the country since December of last year with exciting recruiting events.
The other piece to that we've put in place, we're going on the road. Instead of having an annual conference for IAS to bring in our adjusters, what we've decided is that it's a better investment for us is to go on the road to where the adjusters are living and hold mini conferences in those specific locations. And so over the course of the next couple of months, we're planning to go to at least 10 to 15 sites around the country to make it easier for adjusters to come and meet IAS, because we feel it's a better investment for them, in terms of the amount of travel and time away from home for us to go to them versus requiring them to go someplace else.
Join them on the next leg of their Claims Adjuster Roadshow on Tuesday, June 8th at the Renaissance Fort Lauderdale Cruiseport Hotel. They informed me that they have sent hundreds of claims out to people they've met on their roadshow. Reservations are preferred, but walk-ins are also welcome. Go to iasclaims.com right now for more info. Cost? Free. Okay, that's it for the news. Just remember, wherever you go, there you are. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great storm.